Welcome, dear seekers, to a profound journey through the timeless teachings of wisdom and enlightenment. In today's exploration, we delve into a captivating narrative inspired by the enlightened Buddha's return to his homeland. Amidst the joyous gathering of family and disciples, we uncover the essence of compassion, mindfulness, and the pursuit of inner peace. Join us as we navigate through the streets adorned with flowers and flags, discovering the profound messages that resonate from the Buddhist discourse to his beloved ones. After the enlightened Buddha returned to his homeland, a joyous gathering of family and disciples took place. At a communal meal, the Buddha spoke about his experiences and the path he had followed in recent years. Although not everyone had fully embraced the Buddha's teachings, yet he was warmly welcomed upon his return to the city of Nisaraka, where his son now resided. He addressed them saying, "Greetings, dear ones. I am grateful for the opportunity to be with you today." The Buddha expressed his gratitude to his wife Yasodhara, who had supported him during his spiritual journey. In a profound and skillful manner, he shared the story of the Buddhist monk's past. Whilst greatly moving Yasodhara, the news of Siddhartha's hometown quickly spread throughout the land of the bhikkhus. Days on. Each day as the sun descended over the city, the streets were adorned with beautiful flowers and flags to welcome the Buddha and his followers. Many households eagerly awaited the arrival of the revered teacher, making elaborate offerings. The king instructed thousands of guests to attend, including government officials and representatives from various religious groups. He specifically requested that the food offered be vegetarian. Siddhartha's son Rahula was the only one who managed to sneak away to explore the teachings of his father during the busy festivities. He listened to the Buddha's explanation of the Noble Eightfold Path, seeking a deeper understanding of his mother's commitment to a tranquil way of life. At Kosan, at times Siddhartha's city was piqued, and he wanted to understand how others viewed him. People were full of praise for the Buddha, and their hearts were filled with devotion. The gathering reached its climax as the whole city, including the palace, was adorned with colorful banners and fresh flowers, creating an atmosphere of great joy. The teacher and his disciples continued to make their way through the streets, where the crowds erupted into applause and cheers. In this bustling environment, the people continued to maintain an unwavering silence and composure, focused on following the footsteps of the Buddha and his disciples. When the Buddha reached the entrance to the palace, he welcomed his guests with a gesture of folded palms and bowed in respect to all those who had gathered. In a harmonious assembly, he delivered a discourse to the seated guests. The Buddha initially reflected on their 70 years of separation, acknowledging the interest that they held regarding his experiences. He began by providing a brief account of his journey and experiences during this time, emphasizing the importance of mindfulness and meditation in everyday life. He encouraged his audience to practice concentration and contemplation, allowing them to deeply connect with all aspects of existence. It was through this profound understanding and perseverance that suffering could be alleviated and genuine peace and happiness could be attained. As the Buddha spoke, the audience was captivated by his words, his wisdom, and his compassion. They were reminded of the importance and the importance of cultivating inner peace. Siddhartha and Epons conveyed a profound message of hope, teaching them how to find solace and joy in their lives through mindfulness and self-awareness. The speaker emphasized that rituals, offerings, and scriptures alone are not effective methods to attain liberation. In Buddhism, the teaching of the Four Noble Truths explains the nature of suffering, its causes, its cessation, and the path leading to its cessation. The speaker mentioned that aside from the suffering of birth, aging, illness, and death, many other forms of suffering are self-created. This is because the thoughts and actions of individuals, often rooted in ignorance and delusion, can bring about various forms of suffering, including resentment, anger, doubt, jealousy, and hatred. All of this arises due to the lack of mindfulness. The speaker compared self-created suffering to a house on fire which entraps individuals, within preventing them from breaking free. Praying to deities or divine beings will not help in achieving genuine liberation. To find relief from this suffering flaw, constant suffering, one must introspect and examine their own mind and environment to remain of all delusions. It is only by understanding the root causes of suffering that we can truly comprehend what suffering is. Once we understand the nature of suffering, we can free ourselves from being bound by it. The speaker emphasized following some words. Instead, by practicing mindfulness and observation, we can understand the reasons behind the other person's anger. Through deep contemplation, we can find the reasons for their resentment, which may be related to our own misguided actions. In such cases, we should be willing to take responsibility for the resentment and help the other person understand our true intentions. This way, we can prevent further suffering and promote understanding and peace. In the realm of meditation and mindfulness, one should focus on maintaining deep conscious breathing to stay present and centered. By cultivating purity in thoughts and actions, we can develop concentration and attain insight. Renunciation is the principle that leads to a life of peace and happiness. Renouncing attachment can help us concentrate better, enabling us to be more mindful in our daily lives. Developing a focused and concentrated mind can help us recognize the true nature of all phenomena. With this ability, we can see the profound beauty and wonder of life, including our own breath. The leaves on the trees, the golden flowers, clear streams in the serene moonlight. These are all expressions of the wondrous beauty of life. When we break free from ignorance and delusion, we experience boundless peace, joy, and liberation. The speaker encouraged everyone to take some time to deeply contemplate the purity of their own hearts and environment, as it can reveal the profound beauty of existence. The speaker concluded that suffering is just one aspect of life. The other side of life is filled with beauty and wonder. When we recognize this, we can experience happiness, peace, and liberation. By breaking free from the cycle of suffering, we can reach a state of profound understanding. The understanding of our own moments is essential to dispelling ignorance and illusion. Only through such profound understanding can we see the real essence of ourselves. The text you provided appears to be about a story related to Buddhist practices and teachings. Here's a well-written version in English that would be suitable for a Buddhism book. Including some of the distant descendants, I'll observe the 5 precepts in the company of venerable monks, such as one whom I know there was a journey to Nisargadatta garden with a meta-Buddhist monk. She listened to the monk's teachings, then again sought private guidance from a monk regarding the relationship between spiritual practice and assisting the poor. The monk taught her how to cultivate a view of tranquility and contentment within her heart. She understood that without inner peace and joy, it is challenging to genuinely help others. She was delighted to realize that by helping others, she could also cultivate her own thoughtfulness. Tranquility or contentment also one's work, and these are not separate from one's goals. As for Kappa, he also made significant progress in his spiritual practice. During their stay in the palace, Queen Vasavari requested Buddhist monks to come up and dine with them, including nun Sahalacham Madhgayanavan, Ananda and others. Afterward, she invited them to visit the small village where she used to help the underprivileged children. The monks brought a group of children to sit beneath a tree, and the children aged 7 to 12 immediately stopped playing. He stood to the sides. The Buddhist monks walked among them, teaching how to show respect and perform gestures of reverence. They placed a lotus leaf under the tree for the monks to sit, and they spread a mat on the ground for King Kapi, Queen Vasavari, and the other 2 nobles to sit on. The monks were delighted to sit there, which reminded King Kapi of the days when he used to sit with the village children. He told the children about the importance of herding cattle and the well-being of the girl who used to offer milk. He mentioned the need for deep understanding of things to nurture love, and told them how he'd saved a flock of geese that had been targeted by a hawk. The children listened eagerly, and the monks called Lo Shialo to sit with them. He told them a story from a distant past about a young man named Devadatta who lived at the foot of Mount Himalaya. Despite his lack of formal education, he set off to the city with a wish to study. He carried a stick, a hat, a water bottle, a jacket, and the clothes on his back. On the way, he found work in the village, earning money for food. When he reached the city of Kapilavastu, he had already saved 500 coins. He entered the city and realized that something significant was being prepared. He asked the people about it. And at that moment, that beautiful girl carrying a half-open lotus flower walked by. Devadatta inquired about the festivities, and the girl replied, "You must not be from Kapilavastu if you do not know. Today is the day of the Buddha's enlightenment celebration." Hearing that there would be a grand celebration, Devadatta wanted to offer something. He asked the girl, "How much for your lotus flower?" She looked at Devadatta and thought he was a clever and kind young man. She answered, "I bought these flowers for 500 coins. Devadatta wished to offer the lotus as an offering to the Buddha, but the girl refused. She said, "I bought these flowers with the hope of offering them myself. You didn't plan to sell them to someone else." Devadatta was determined to give the girl 500 coins for her lotus flower, which she wanted to offer to the Buddha as an act of devotion. However, the girl insisted on keeping the flowers for her offering as it was her heartfelt wish. This story is an example of how a simple act of kindness and devotion can give the most profound offering to the enlightened ones. This version conveys the essence of the original text in a manner more suitable for a Buddhist book's content. In a tranquil setting, two individuals engaged in a profound conversation. One of them expressed her desire, saying, "You can still collect 2 flowers from the pond. I beseech you to allow me to purchase those 5 flowers. I hold a deep aspiration to offer something to the Great Master. This is a rare opportunity in one's lifetime. If you permit me to buy your flowers, I will be eternally grateful." The young woman gazed at the ground, offering no immediate response. However, the earnest seeker continued to press her for a reply. "If you permit me to buy these flowers," he persisted, "I'm willing to do anything for you." After a considerable pause, the young woman finally spoke. "I do not know what kind of non-connections our past lives may hold, but from the moment I encountered you, I felt a profound connection. Although I have met many men before, my heart has never felt as it does now with such fervor. I can give you these flowers," she continued, "but you must promise to be my husband in this life and oath. Future lives. Would you agree?" A man deeply moved responded, "You are unlike anyone else, and your sincerity is remarkable. I too had a special connection when I first met you. However, I'm currently seeking the path to enlightenment. If I become your husband, it might hinder my spiritual progress." The woman replied, "If you agree to marry me, being willing to support your spiritual journey when the time is right." A man overcome with emotion accepted her proposal. They approached the enlightened master, offering their lotus flowers as a gesture of respect and devotion. The crowd was so dense that they couldn't see the master clearly, but merely catching a glimpse of him was enough to confirm their faith. The master, acknowledging the sincerity in their hearts, said to the young woman, "I see your genuine dedication and your commitment to aiding his spiritual aspirations. Do not worry, for one day in this lifetime or the next, he will be yours, as you have wished." Turning to the man, the master continued, "Who will become her companion, fulfilling her desires. Be compassionate and supportive, for the love between you two will bring immense happiness. Understand that in life, names and wealth are fleeting, but knowledge and love are the most precious treasures. If you deeply understand and love, you will find happiness." As the years passed, the man and woman became husband and wife, and they supported each other in their respective spiritual journeys. The bond between them was unbreakable, and they found true happiness in their shared understanding and love. Through this profound connection, they achieved spiritual growth and enlightenment. As we conclude our contemplative journey, the echoes of the Buddha's teachings linger in our hearts. The story of a simple act of kindness and devotion reminds us that in the tapestry of existence, love and understanding are the threads that bind us all. May the lessons